really discussing what does good communication look like between a builder and a homeowner, and what does poor communication. Let's start with poor. Poor communication from a builder between a builder and a homeowner is a builder ghosting a homeowner.
Yeah, if there's usually you'll find the ghosting start taking place when they don't have the answer.
Mm-hmm. They don't have the material.
Or the answer on the material. And especially as the customer becomes more and more hostile, they begin to move. I want to get the answer first. So in our minds, mm-hmm. personal experience, in your mind, you think, I don't have the answer yet. So I want to wait till I get that answer, and then I'll have that difficult. Because nobody wants to hear no builder wants to hear when they call their sub or their supplier, I don't know.
Sure.
Nobody wants to hear that, because then this makes you madder. Why don't you know? Find out. Nobody wants to hear that. But, so what do? Well, I just won't answer my phone. I mm-hmm. won't answer my text.
And so then what does the homeowner maybe do? I'm going to call him again. He didn't answer. I'm going to let him know I called. I'm going to call him 5 times.
And then
an hour.
And then they're mad. They're getting frustrated. Then that builds up to even more tension. Mm-hmm. But it's natural. We're humans. It's emotions. You're excited. Things are just taking place, and it could be bad, good, but it happens.
So other examples of poor communication? Multiple decisions changing every day. We're going to go with this color. No, we're going to go with this color.
That would be bad I wouldn't say that's communication, because normally the customer, they'll shoot they'll file those text off. Like, oh, hey,
yeah,
we changed the color to this, color to that. And it's like, so then it becomes so, if a customer becomes, they're changing their mind too much, the builder or the superintendent, job site superintendent, or the subs, they lose track.
Mm-hmm. Which is poor communication, overload or inaccurate
information, and then they lose track. Then they're frustrated. They get flustered, and people think, well, I'm the customer. Yeah, you're the customer, but at the same time, as a customer, you need to have respect to these men's profession as well, and to mm-hmm. think. But sure, you're going to have changes, 100%. Even in my own build, I had changes. I changed several times, trying to let them know.
Did you make any changes today?
I did, and then you're trying to not just say, hey, just do it. I'm the cut. Just do. No, you recognize that, hey, like I'm causing this subcontractor heartache.
Yeah. A little friction.
So as a customer, you need to know, hey, show them a little grace. If mm-hmm. Some subs, if you're not talking to the actual owner of the company or the main superintendent, the guys at the tip of the spear, as I call it, that are nailing the board together or gluing the pipe together or doing the concrete finishing, they take it very personal. That's their craft. That's what they do. And when you come in and just change, or I don't like that, they can get emotional just like anybody. And then so as a GC, it's our job to try to mediate that emotion, or both owner and the sub. Mm-hmm. And neither one of them are wrong. The owner is asking for some changes, and if they're willing to pay for those changes after the work's been completed, the sub has the obligation to perform it without an attitude. So, but at the same time, I mean, we're humans.
Sure.
But it's our job to help facilitate things smoothly through those
absolutely
treacherous
events. Other poor communication might be how often do builders disregard requests from homeowners, or they requested that but they can't afford it, they can't do that, and you just act. That's not great communication either, right?
No.
Not saying anything and just doing whatever.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Hoping they won't say nothing.
Yeah, they will.
Yes.
They will. What does a good builder communication look like? we've talked about, expectations we have of ourselves, weekly updates, right?
Yeah, I think we've covered it kind of through these, but I think we line it up in a row. But yeah, I think you're communicating. Like I would, my vision is to where, like, we're updating weekly the progress. So you're not having these. You're having to fire off text to us or call us and going, "Hey, what's the progress? Why this? What's?" No, it's in there. Now, I mean, there'll be times you're like, "Hey, you've had that. You're going to do that for 3 weeks. Why haven't you done it?"
Sure.
Yeah, you can ask those questions, and usually we'll have an answer, Lord willing, and and we may not, and it may just be you be calling us out and going, "Hey, you're procrastinating. Let's go." So
We've talked about respectful response times. Like if you do text, right? And let's,
because sometimes when you're thinking about people want to be like, "Hey, fire back. We want answers. We want answers. We want answers." Sometimes you're in a meeting with another client, and you're trying not to be rude.
Did that.
And start communicating with other. Now, obviously, at times, "Hey, I'm at the granite store. I need an answer. Please call me back." Well, obviously, you read the text. Cool. Yeah. But 99% of the time, that's not the case.
And I think one of my goals and basically in life is to assume the best of others, right? When you become cynical towards others, their intents or their whatever, their actions, it's easy to disregard or to misinterpret, right? But staying in a place where you're assuming the best of intentions, right? And then, good communication is understanding different people have different personalities.
And understanding that 99% of the subs employees, the general contractor, and their superintendent, they're not maliciously out there trying to mess you over, trying to slow your project down. They're humans. Now, sure, you got to be held accountable, things like that.
And you touched on it earlier. These guys take pride in what they do. If you're laying tile all day, you don't want to do a bad job. I mean, no guy's like, I'm going to go and just do a terrible job today and make this look like garbage.
I've worked around tile guys. We'll use those as this. Some of the tile guys, they'll have footprints on the ceiling when they're done. They'll splatter mud all over the ceiling. And just absolute wreckage upon my job site. And you're confused. You're like, what do you? And in their minds, that they're like, well, we're just doing our job. They think that they're doing a great job. So even on the bad times where I'm like, hey, you're not to our standards. They still have pride in it, even though it's not our standards.
Right.
So I agree that everybody they take in pride in it. Their standards may not be to our level, but they're still like, hey, we do it. They believe that they gave us a great job. And well,
right. And that's where, for homeowners, knowing, that before you build, knowing the standard and the quality of your general contractor, knowing the home that they expect of themselves, that they expect of their subs. But yeah, back to that assumption, like, I think there's just the speed at which some homes are being built today blows people's minds. But that doesn't mean that each of those guys is not doing their best. Yeah. Some are, some aren't. But
and every home, like some homes are built fast, some are slow. Doesn't mean, your home was built slow. That means it was a good home.
Right.
Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean if your home was built super fast, it means it's a crappy home. Normally, the homes that you're seeing go up rapidly in subdivisions, they're kind of builder grade, what we would in our industry, kind of builder grade products. Good starter homes, good things, but
would you give that a B plus? Like,
I'd say a B, might B minus, and then you could take it all the way up to A plus plus plus, and you're spending, everybody's in there with fine tooth combs, but that's on your very, very tip top where you're at $500 a foot type homes.
Right.
Very high end.
And $500 a foot for people that don't understand, let's say a typical 3-2 new subdivision is going to be built at $250.
No, I mean, yes, 250, 225.
Okay.
And that's kind of where we're going to land, and then on our homes. But some of those other homes that you'll see in a subdivision, being produced at mass, they might be at 170 a foot. But you can't compare. Not that these are bad homes,
right?
But all three sections are
they serve different homeowners.
Yes,
they serve different desires. They're different homes.
So the homeowner buying a 170 should not hold their builder to a 270 quality standard. That's not fair.
No, it's not what they wanted at the beginning.
That's not what they paid for. Hey, you didn't pay for the upgraded light fixtures and plumbing fixtures and the upgraded painter.
Right.
Up here you did, but then you could even have another upgrade up to
the 500.
Exactly. So it's very important and I hope that through this podcast we can educate the customer on, hey, what are you purchasing when you get us? What are you getting? Or that show them the different levels. So if they do purchase, hey, which level are you wanting? And then making sure they choose the right one.
Or the one
that fits them.
Yes.